Hi everyone, so this is Ichin and we are here at the second race for today for the Eco Lifestyle VSG Asia Interschool Friendlies. So for now it's men's junior slash U23, so it's actually the riders, they are between 17 years old to under 23 obviously. And total we have a total of about 19 riders. So maybe let me just quickly introduce everyone to the map. So for distance wise, we are actually, it'll be more intensive than the previous ride itself. So for this current map, we are using Training Peaks virtual map, and then the distance itself, it is a total of about 12.5 kilometers with one big climb of 147 meter elevation. Okay, and then riders, we have about 19 to 20 riders from Singapore. I think this wave we have more Singaporean riders, about half-half, with mainly Hong Kong riders from the other side. Okay, so now let us quickly toggle over to the main race. In the race itself, and as you can see, the map is bottom with about the 0 to the 12.5 kilometers at the bottom, and you can see there's one times big hill. So it'll be interesting for this map because it's a climber's map obviously, so there's one small hill at the front about 6 kilometers, 5 plus to 6 kilometers, then a big hill at 7 to 8 kilometers, and then they'll descend and there'll be a small uphill again at about 11 km mark before a sprint finish. So the hill to separate the riders, the best. Okay, and we have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds more to go. Okay, riders wise, I think some of the Hong Kong riders should be logging in now. Otherwise, we have a total of 19 riders. I think there should be a bit more now that is still going to come in the next couple of minutes. Okay, 2 minutes 45 seconds to go. Very short race, probably like FTP or out. Okay, 2 minutes more to go. Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds more to go. So for those new to Training Peaks Virtual, so with this partnership between us and Eco Lifestyle Fitness, so Eco Lifestyle Fitness is the distributor for some of the sporting equipments for Southeast Asia, which include the walk bikes obviously, which Singapore, Hong Kong and even Malaysia is using for this race itself. They are also a distributor for a couple more other sporting equipment, so it will be nice to actually check out their website if you are keen to understand what they distribute. But Training Peaks Virtual is the software and the platform that we're using to facilitate this race. Training Peaks Virtual itself started as a indie kind of game that it was used to be only for a small group of riders. Training Peaks actually acquired this last year and made this live. So from Virtual Cycling SG, we actually it's our first year working with them. And as you can see now on the right hand side, the list of riders has been updated. Amongst the 19, the Singapore riders are as shown, and then the Hong Kong riders are as shown as well. Yeah, so the riders are all getting ready with about 30 seconds more to go. Whether will it be a hard start Okay, all the way from the start, we'll see how will the different riders deal with the terrain and the race itself. Okay, 20 more seconds to go before the start of the race. Yeah, so for this, the Hong Kong riders is mainly primarily Singaporean riders, but we'll see whether other Singaporean riders are able to catch up and keep up with the Hong Kong riders. Okay, the race has flagged off now. You can see all the riders are pushing very hard. Usually it will take a while for the pace to settle, but if they lose the pack now, then it might be difficult to catch back afterwards. So quite straightforward. I think you can see a pack starting to form now. Okay, we have at the start Ethan and Elvis and Javier from Singapore leading the team, with Danny Wong from the Hong Kong side. Okay, we'll give some time for the riders to actually settle down, and then to see how many people will still remain in the front pack. Okay, all the riders are still together pretty much, and as you can see on the left hand side of the right table, the leaders group is Aaron plus 18, so it means that essentially all the riders are still together at this point in time. Okay, the riders are still pretty much together. It'll be a while before they actually reach the bottom of the hill, but I don't know whether there will be any strategy from the Singapore side to see whether they can actually do a breakaway, but the riders are still pretty much bunched up together. Okay, and the riders, as you can see now, all the riders are still together for now. So while we are doing this broadcast, I'm trying to bring up the race from last year to see whether is there any familiar faces. I think there are two riders. Okay, so I think some of the riders are repeated rider from last year, or like 4 riders according to our database. So I think the Danny Wong, he was the champion last year for the men's race. So last year he came in first place with 4.48 watts per kilo for the entire race of 12 km. So this time around is fairly the same distance. I think Danny Wong will be a favorite as well. Then the rest of the riders are actually pretty much the same rider. I'm trying to see whether the wingman, I think wingman Yong is new. But I thought I saw his name earlier in the previous race, but it could be maybe just a mistake on my part. But I think Danny Wong is from last year. Yeah, and pretty much the riders are fairly new to this race. Okay, we see all the riders are still together, pretty much. Don't think there will be a lot of action. The riders have passed 2.2 kilometers. Elvis is at the front. I think it might be hard. I wonder what his strategy is. But if his strategy is to break away from the start, then it might be quite difficult because it's a flat and the rest can actually catch back quite easily. Or it could be a fake lead out from the Singapore side just to confuse the Hong Kong riders. We'll see, but you can see that Danny Wong has actually responded to the earlier attack by Alvin. Danny Wong is now ahead at the front, going at 49 km per hour. It seems that Danny is now trying to break away and he's not easing up. You can see the speed is going up. Will the Singaporean riders give chase? We will see how it goes, but we have to see now Ethan is just 2 seconds behind Danny Wong, with the rest of the Singaporean riders behind, and they will slowly catch back to the pack. So to be honest, any breakaway now will be it won't materialize because the terrain is too flat and it's too short before they will eventually reach the climb. Okay, the riders have all come back together. I think we see from the table that Hubert has dropped from Singapore, but otherwise we have 18 riders remaining strong in the peloton itself. Okay, and now we can see Elvis and Zachary at the front. We'll see whether can they beat the past champion for the race, Danny Wong. And Danny Wong is still at the front. And then now we can see the pace are still decent. Looking at Danny Wong's power going at 200 watts, 200 plus watts per kilo, not per kilo but 200 plus watts absolute. Training Peaks doesn't show the watts per kilo because to them that is sensitive data that it will affect the racing strategy, so that's why they show speed on the table instead of watts per kilo. But otherwise the riders are pretty much all still together. They have reached the small town which indicate the arrival of the 4 km mark, and the riders will now have about less than 1.5 kilometers to go before they start the small climb for today, and whether we will see any attack, we'll see how it goes. Okay, all the riders are pretty much still bunched out together. I think the action will only start once they reach the hill. Okay, the riders are at 4.2 km now. As you can see from the top right hand corner, they have 9.1 km left. The route for this is about 127 meter elevation, and till now they only have climbed 9. Okay, we see Chen Pok Yu, he is at the front now. And behind him, Louis and Danny Wong. Okay, and the riders are going strongly into the climb. And now the riders are pretty much bunched up together. And to be honest, although you see like I think one of the riders, Elvis, is on a time trial bike, but the bikes are all neutralized in this race itself, so it doesn't matter which bike you ride, because all the bikes are the same. It's just for aesthetic purpose that it looks different, but otherwise the performance is still the same. You see now Danny Wong has thrown another attack here as Elvis has gone forward a bit. He is now ahead with a 1 second gap to Elvis and a 3 second gap to the next chasing rider and the rest of the peloton. Okay, whether will Danny Wong be able to attack and hit continue? You can see the numbers are actually earlier turning red. All the riders actually are now trying to catch back to Danny Wong. Okay, all the riders are about 3 seconds away from Danny at the front, and they are slowly catching back. Okay, the riders have start to climb up the small hill, and as you can see on the top right hand corner, it's 4 to 5% gradient. Not too intense to at least kill the riders, but it will be enough to actually put some effort into their legs. And if anyone were to attack here now, it will definitely strain the legs of the others. And you can see now the group has actually split further. Ethan is now in first place, 1 second ahead. Maybe he might have just accidentally went a bit too hard, but we can see now Danny Wong coming back to the front from Hong Kong. Will Danny be able to defend his champion? I think he was first last year. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and then he is still 1 second ahead of the rest of the riders, who now Ethan, Louis, who are chasing closely, and the rest of the riders, they are all at the back. Yeah, and then we see now the Ming-Yi rider is actually now closing his gap, and he will join the peloton. If the rest of the riders at the back doesn't catch up now, then it will be difficult for them to close the gap. And you can see now Ming-Yi is slightly ahead. He has jumped ahead of the group itself. And we see Ming-Yi, Ethan, Louis together with Danny Wong and Jaden Pang 1 second behind with another Hong Kong rider and Zachary. So maybe let's click on Zachary. And you can see now the first group, there's a total of 7 riders. The next group are 14 seconds behind. I don't know whether will the next group eventually catch up because it's a long climb. But if the rest don't catch up later, then they will actually lose this pack. So the elimination starts now. The riders are climbing with, you can see on the top right hand corner, 6%, 7% gradient, very steep, and 8% now. Essentially, the redder the color, the more steep it is. You can see now Jaden is at the front with Zachary and Danny Wong and Ethan Lewis in the pack. Okay, so the riders now, we have a total of 7 riders at the front, 2 from Hong Kong, 5 from Singapore, and the Bosco rider is the next Hong Kong after Danny Wong. Okay, the riders, you can see now they are going up the next segment. Danny Wong is still going very fast at the front. Will the rest of the riders be able to keep up with him? The gap is actually now growing. We see an attack here by Louis. Louis from Singapore, he is responding to Dennis Wong's attack. Not necessarily attack, but just keeping up with Dennis Wong's pace. And we can see the rest of the riders, they are starting to have a gap behind Danny Wong and Louis. They are 5 seconds from Danny Wong, and the gradient now is very steep, 10% gradient. It seems like from the Singapore side, only Louis is able to maintain, but the gap between him and Danny is growing. It's now 8 seconds. Earlier it was I think 4 or 5 seconds. And now you see the gap is now grown to 9 seconds. So looks like Danny Wong, the previous champion of last year's race, will be able to defend his title this time round. But podium wise, it could be the rest of the Singaporeans who will podium. And the gap has grown for Danny Wong to 14 seconds. And he is almost out of sight from Louis. You can see now teleporting to Danny Wong, doing a comfortable pace. I don't know how is his heart rate, but putting out 300 plus to 400 plus watts. If it's 60 kg or even 70 kg, that's at least 4 to 5 watts per kilo. Very decent numbers. Normalized power, I think 326, max sprint 1118 for this race. Very strong rider. The gap of him and the rest of the riders have now increased. Louis is now 20 seconds behind. And clicking on Louis, he is now behind in second position, with Zachary from Singapore in third and Ethan 4th, Jaden 5th, Ming 6th, and Hong Kong Bosco 7th. It looks like it will be a strong finish and an easy finish for Danny Wong from Hong Kong. He will now reach the top. He's at 130 now. He have finished the climb for the the second hill, and also the largest hill for today. And he's now on his descent with a healthy 37 gap ahead of Louis and the rest of the Singapore team. And now Danny will be descending, and soon he will reach the flat soon. And now let's click on Ethan and Louis. So Ethan himself, he is in third position with Louis. And then Zachary and Ming at the back. And 6 Singaporean riders have finished the ascent. Okay, coming back, Louis, he will be reaching the halfway point for the descent soon. And it looks like whether will he be able to secure second position for today. Danny Wong. Is now 47 ahead, and the gap has almost grown to 1 minute ahead of Lewis and the rest of the Singaporean. We are looking at Ethan now, who is descending and finishing his descent. Let's click on Danny Wong. And Danny Wong has reached the flat. He has just 3.2 km to the finish, but still going strong at 300 plus watts absolute. Okay, the defending champion will finish first place ahead of the rest. Easy ride for Danny Wong from SFAC, and if I'm not wrong, he's also he does cycle outside, so he has a cycling team as well, and therefore this explains his strong performance. Okay, Danny is 2.9 km. Let's now look at Ethan. So Ethan, he is in third position now. He is essentially same teammate and same school with Lewis, but whether will he fight with Lewis for the second position, we'll see how it goes. And we have Zachary at the back, who is in fourth position with Ming, and together with Jaden Park. So looks like Hong Kong has definitely secured champion, and I think the rest of the podium will be from Singapore. And now Ethan is on side by side with Lewis. And if they slow down here, they will eventually be caught by Zachary and Ming as well as Jaden, and it will just be harder for them to finish. So if they don't work together now to actually distance themselves from the chasing group behind the group number 3, then it is highly likely that they will be caught up, and it will be even harder to fight for a finish position. And looking at Jaden now, he is together with Ming at the front slightly. He will be catching up soon to Zachary, and then they will catch Louis and Ethan eventually. Looking at Danny now, he's 1.8 km to finish. Easy game for him. He's taking it easy now. You can see now, still going pretty decent, 200 plus, low 300 watts. Almost a minute gap to the chaser Ethan, and he will be crowned champion for today. And looking at Jaden, he is 10 seconds behind Ethan and Louis. Looks like no one is working in this group 3 to actually catch up with Ethan and Louis. The gap is still maintained at 9 to 10 seconds. 2.2 kilometers to go. Okay, looking at Danny Wong now. Danny, he is 1.1 km. As he passes the red flame, he will be the first finisher and the champion for today's race of the Eco Lifestyle-VSG Asia Interschool Friendlies Men Juniors / Men U23. Okay, 900 plus meters to go. Danny will finish first place. And then 700 more meters to go. $600 plus more meters to go. 500 plus more meters to go for Danny Wong from Hong Kong. Easy game for Danny as he goes through the finish line, and after this turn he will be shortly seeing the finish line, and then you have 300 plus more meters to go. And as you see, as he finishes this turn, the finish line will be visible after he finishes this turn. 200 plus more meters to go. And you see now the finish last 100 meter is inside. And Danny, with a time gap of about 59 seconds to 58 seconds ahead of the chasing group, Danny is the champion for today's men's junior and U23 race. Now looking back, Louis Ethan 7 seconds ahead of Zachary, Jaden and Mingit. With 600 to 700 more meters to go, you can see now Zachary camera. Mingit has launched his attack. Mingit is now catching up. Will Mingit be able to finish and catch back? He has about 500 plus more meters to go. The gap is 4 seconds now closing. And he has about 300 more meters to go. Will he be able to close the gap? You can see Mingit, he is now 3 seconds. And Ethan, Louis still have a gap. You can see now Louis going ahead with the attack. Louis is going for the finish. He has dropped Ethan. Louis has a healthy 1 second gap. Louis will finish second place. Congrats, Louis. And now looking back, Ethan has finished third place, followed by Ming. And the rest of the riders will now finish with Zachary just slightly ahead of Jaden earlier, which we didn't manage to catch. And the rest of the riders are now slowly finishing. And now Bosco and Javier will fight for finishing position 7. Will it be Singapore? Will it be Hong Kong? With less than 100 meters to go, Javier will take 7th position, followed by Bosco from Hong Kong. And the rest of the riders are slowly coming in as the rest of the Singapore riders finish the race. So don't go away, stay tuned for the next women's race, which is at 7:30 p.m. It will be the last race for today. All the women will be combined together. I think we have only 2 or 3 Singaporean riders and the rest are all from Hong Kong. Okay, so stay tuned and while we finish up the rest of the live stream.